Mob Wives star and author Karen Gravano will be on Long Island next week as one of 4 featured authors to speak at the 5th Annual Kidney and Neurology Foundation Hat and Author Luncheon at the Woodlands Mansion in Woodbury. We caught up with Gravano for an exclusive interview about her new book, Mob Daughter.
Mob Daughter is my first book. It's basically my foundation. And the reason I chose to write this book is, there were so many different stories out there about my family, and I just felt like I understood my life completely. And it was more of a cleansing and healing process for myself rather than trying to put the correct version of a story out there. And it was really rewarding to do it. It's just, to me, this is a family story. It's not a mob story, and I know that in the beginning it was being perceived as me trying to tell a mob story or, making money off my father's crimes, but this is about my life and growing up inside that world, the things that I've seen, the things that I took out of it, and the lessons I learned from it. For me, I think the most important message in this book is no matter what you go through in life, you can survive. And I believe that you cannot choose your family. You have to play the hand that you're dealt. And at the end of the day, I do have a family unit. Outside of what people think, we are a very strong family unit behind, and that's what's got us through it. And no matter how many times you get knocked down, you can pick yourself up and move forward. Life's too short to be hung up on the past and to dwell or to not be able to move past your mistakes. And when I was able to do all that, learn my lessons, take in everything that happened in my life, fully understand who my father is as an individual, fully understand the lifestyle that he chose, I was able to pick up the pieces and understand why I made my mistakes and move forward. And hopefully this book is helping me change a negative to a positive. I honestly feel completely blessed now that this book is out and people actually took my message from the book. They say it's very inspirational. It helped them get through their situations. Again, because it's not a mob book, it's a family story. It's a life struggle and it's coming to terms with who you are and moving past it. So I got so many just overwhelming response for it. I mean, the book is a New York Times bestseller, 7 weeks. It's been in reprint 4 times. It's picked up in the UK now. It's just been released, so it's doing phenomenal. And I really feel that I got my message across. The writer that I work with, Lisa Pulitzer, is amazing. She was actually able to capture my voice and tell the story I wanted. And I'm overwhelmed, and I actually feel blessed with the response that it's been getting. So, for me, I think the most challenging part of the book was I love my father. And as a father, he's my best friend, he's my provider. He is very present in our lives. Even though he's in prison right now, he's still very present in my daughter's life, my nephew. I mean, he's calling every day. He never wanted that lifestyle for us. So for me to be able to tell who he really is as a gangster and be able to get across who he is as a person and as a father was challenging for me because I didn't want people to act like, I didn't want people to perceive me like I was protecting him or trying to put shade on what he did. My father's a gangster, and the lifestyle he chose I do not condone, but I do understand now why he chose it, what it's about, and who he is as a person. And at the end of the day, again, when I'm writing this book, it's a family story, and it's about the struggles families go through and how they can come out of it. And I didn't want to get stuck in that mob stuff where, I'm telling a mob story. So it was definitely challenging in the beginning, but once I sat down and started writing it, and again, Lisa Pulitzer is amazing. She was able to help me pull out the story, get it across exactly how I wanted to. So I'm very, very, very happy with the way it turned out.
Gravano also talked about her experiences with the hit VH1 show Mob Wives.
Mob Wives has changed my life in a positive way because it actually gave me a platform to be able to write a book and do the other projects that I was working on prior, but it brought it to life and it gave it a springboard for more people to see what I'm doing. It's definitely interesting to be on TV and have so many people look at you and view you a certain way and they really don't know you. And I've gotten great responses from the show. I've got some negative feedback, but overall I'm confident in who I am. And I'm actually happy that I have the opportunity to be on TV. It's hard when you lose your privacy, especially growing up in the lifestyle that I did. We were very private people. We never said the word mob, we never talked about it. Even after my father cooperated, it was something that, I've held very private. I was just, my family, we've never done books, movies, or anything like that. My father did, which, my mother gave him a real hard time about doing it because she felt like we were still private. So it's actually a little weird to be out there and people talk about the mob or talk about it. It took me a long time to be able to get adjusted to it. But now that I am, and you realize that it's more about the women and not the mob, it's easier for me to go out there. And the fans are great. It's a great opportunity, especially to be able to work with Jennifer Graziano, who's the creative producer of the show. She's my best friend. Ramona, who has been a childhood best friend of mine, to be actually back together and doing this it's fun, and it's interesting at the same time. When you do open yourself up to America and everybody, or even outside America, we're in like 25 different countries, I think it's overwhelming to have people know and, come up and talk. At the same time, it's great that people are responding to us, but then you kind of lose your privacy. So that's a little bit hard for me to adjust to, but I'm working into it. So hopefully it'll all be good. And now we have season 3 picking up, so I'm excited. I think the biggest misconception is that I've heard so many people just say we're wild, we're crazy, we're a train wreck, and I get it. I watch the show too. I definitely get where people are getting this from, but at the end of the day, the reason why I chose to be on the show is because when Jennifer did pitch the idea to me, at first I was like, absolutely not. But she started telling me that it's about women that go through struggles, and yes, you're crazy, and yes, you're wild, or however it is, but you made it. So that's why I did agree to be on the show. Unfortunately, the way our society is, they get hooked on the drama, and when we're doing normal things, our viewership's low, and we're beating each other up, everybody watches. So as much as they like to talk about us, they still watch it. And again, what you see is what you get. It's not a scripted show. It is what it is. The feelings and emotions on that show are real, but that's not who I am in my everyday life. Like, I don't just go around screaming at people and beating each other up. When you're on a show and you're stuck in a situation, that's what happens. But, my everyday life is I'm a mother, I'm a businesswoman, I started a skincare line, I own a day spa. I love being an author. This is something that's definitely opened up a whole new field for me. I would love to go back and write a second book. I just had a great time and experience doing this. So hopefully, hopefully this can be a new direction for me.
And Gravano spoke about her charity work with the book and her plans to spread her message at the event.
The Kidney and Neurology Foundation came through my publishing company. They had asked me if I wanted to work with this charity and this organization, and it's something that I really feel strongly about. I think it's a very strong organization. Over 26 million Americans are, affected by chronic kidney disease, and I don't think people know the importance of taking care of yourself prior. So this organization really focuses on helping donors, helping people survive with the disease, research and studies, and prevention, which I think is extremely important, because in everyday life, people don't understand, what we do to our bodies is going to affect us in the long run. So definitely having the opportunity to be able to speak at this organization is amazing for me. It's my first time doing it, so I'm a little nervous and excited at the same time, because I never really spoke for an organization before, and this one is definitely something that I'm very interested in. I do know someone that was diagnosed with chronic kidney disease, and they're just struggling. They're on dialysis, and it's just their whole entire life has changed, and so has the people around them trying to take care of them. So I think it's important to shed light on not just kidney disease alone, but any disease or any foundation that's working on, being able to educate people is a great opportunity, and I feel honored to be able to, be part of this. I plan on answering any questions that anyone has about my book. I also want to be able to express that I think even with writing a book, for me, I know it's like, oh, it's this mob story, but it's about survival. And anytime you're hit with anything, whether it's a tragedy, an illness, you have to learn who you are, and you have to have a strong support system around you to be able to get through it. And listen, life's too short to get stuck up on one thing. So for me, I think it's having the opportunity to talk to people and see people that are living with diseases and are struggling every day and are able to get up and still live life. And that's what's the most important. No matter what happens, when you get out of bed every day, you have to live that day like it's your last, and you have to live it to the fullest. And to be able to meet people that are doing this and kind of, I don't want to say it's the same as what I went through, but anytime anybody has something that they go through and are survivors, it's just, it's a great opportunity to be able to interact with those people. So I plan on speaking about survival, struggle, talking about my book. Any questions that anyone has, I'm willing to answer them. And just, everyday life. I love to interact with people that are just living. So to me, it's just, conversations and talking to people. And I have to go hat shopping because I'll definitely wear a hat. And I think, just having fun and meeting people. I've never been to an event like this. So I just kind of being able to go and see a whole different thing. I think the whole idea of the hat and everybody getting together and talking and the luncheon is just a really cool idea, and just looking forward to meeting new people and just talking about different things. When you're on TV, we're talking about mob wives all the time, or, then we're doing interviews and we're talking about that. So just to be able to sit down and meet people and talk about different things in life is just, that's really what I'm looking forward to. Definitely giving back to the community and giving back to others is something that's really important to me, because when you have something, you should be able to give back. And I don't mean financially or materialistic things. It could just be life experiences, and being able to share them with other people is a big thing, because I knew that's what got me through a lot of my situations in life. Just being able to sit down and talk to someone and hear what they went through, or their struggles and their stories. And I feel like being on TV has given me that platform to be able to interact with people or make them interested in who I am, and to actually sit down and be able to tell them what I went through and how I moved past it is, I feel blessed to be able to do that. And that's why I'm so happy about the opportunity of Mob Wives and being on TV and, writing this book. So for me, I think I'm working with this organization. I'm also working with another charity it's called Books for Banks, and it goes into homeless shelters, and be able to give back to people, give them hope, because so many times people are products of their environment and they get caught up in society and they care about what people think about them. So to be able to actually say, you have to care about yourself, because you're only cheating yourself in the long run, is, now that I'm at this point in my life where I can say this, because I was one of those people that cared about what everyone thought and made decisions and choices because I didn't want people to feel a certain way about me, is actually rewarding, that I could sit down with someone and maybe help them go in a different direction or make better choices than I made in my life. So definitely giving back is something that's really important to me, because you could have everything in life and really have nothing. So when you're able to know who you are and be able to share that and help someone else, that's when you're rewarding. That's when you really are someone. And that to me is, where I feel comfortable where I'm at right now in my life.
The Hatton Author Luncheon will take place on June 7th. For more information and tickets, you could check out the website kidneyurology.org. Chris Collora reporting.